Hello everybody, and welcome to my new video, which will be my predictions for Premier League Game Week 3. Okay, let's hope I can do a bit better with these predictions than what I did in my first two Game Week predictions. First match, Arsenal versus Brighton. I think Brighton have had a pretty good start, 2 wins out of 2, but Arsenal are just really good at the moment. I think Brighton can score a goal, but I think Arsenal are too good. I'm going to say Arsenal 3, Brighton Hove Albion 1. Next game, Nottingham Forest versus Wolves. Look, Nottingham Forest, they've had a slightly better start than I thought. They've got 4 points from their first 2 games. Beat Southampton and drew with Bournemouth. That's pretty decent for them. And I think against Wolves, they're also going to get something. I think Wolves will have some kind of response, though, after being flattened 6-2 by Chelsea. So I think they're going to put something on there. But I don't think they're going to get a win because they are also playing away at Forest. So I think it's going to be a draw. I think it's going to be Nottingham Forest 1, Wolves 1. The fourth game, Ipswich versus... Third game is Leicester versus Aston Villa. Leicester, it's at King Power Stadium, so Aston Villa are away. I don't think they're gonna make it close like they did with us at their stadium where it was 1-1. We weren't clinical enough with our chances. We were a bit rusty because it was the start of the campaign. I think mentality maybe just wasn't there. Some players were maybe carrying some knocks. But I think Aston Villa are going to do the business here. I'm going to say Leicester 0, Aston Villa 2. Next game, Ipswich versus Fulham. Actually, not a terrible game. There's a chance Ipswich can get something here. Likes of Sammy Smodics, can probably pop up with a goal or something of the like. But I think, just like with Leicester did with Fulham, I think Fulham might just edge it here. But Ipswich are the home side, so it wouldn't surprise me if they got a draw or even a victory here. It wouldn't be the most unsurprising thing. But I think it's going to be Ipswich 1, Fulham 2. Next game, Brentford versus Southampton. I think this should be an easy one for Brentford. They've picked up 3 points out of a possible 6, but I think they're going to pick up another 3 here. Southampton really don't look promising or good at all. I'm going to say Brentford 3, Southampton 0. Okay. Whether Ivan Toney will be there or not, I'm not sure. It's the last week of the window now. Still hasn't got the move. It looks like it's either going to be Saudi Arabia or Chelsea. But we'll see. We'll see which one goes through or if he's just staying at Brentford. But probably won't be playing again this weekend. But I think even so, Visser, Mbuemo, Sharda, I think they've got enough. They've got enough there. 3-0. Next game, Everton versus Bournemouth. Now, for the past 2 weeks, I've underrated Brighton. Sorry, I've underrated Everton, and I've overrated Bournemouth. I'm going to kind of correct that this time, hoping that at least I'm proven right in this circumstance, and now they don't, swap around. But I'm actually going to back Everton to get something here. They're at home. They've got a -7 goal difference. They need to get some points on the board and they have to get that goal difference up. So I'm actually going to say Everton are going to win here. I think it's going to be Everton 1, Bournemouth 0. Next game, West Ham versus Manchester City. West Ham are at home. Man City are just so good. I think we might see a bit more of the new boys being in the starting lineup or getting a bit more game time, like Fulkrug, Somerville, Todibo, Wan-Bissaka, but at the end of the day, Man City are just Man City. Haaland is a robot, De Bruyne is excellent, Gundogan is back, Pep's still there. It's not going to happen. I'm going to say West Ham 0, Manchester City 3. Alright, third last game, Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. I don't think Chelsea are going to run a riot again. But I do think they're going to win, unfortunately, for Palace, which would then leave them on 0 points out of a possible 9. To be fair, Crystal Palace's opening few fixtures have been Brentford, West Ham, and now Chelsea. It's 3 London sides. Brentford, they probably should have gotten all 3 points. West Ham, you can maybe be forgiven for not getting 3 points. Chelsea, you can definitely be forgiven for not getting 3 points. So you know what? I think it's really just that Brentford game they really should have gotten points because I don't think they're going to get the points here. I think Chelsea are gonna win. I'm gonna say Chelsea 2, Crystal Palace 1. I do think Palace will make a slight game out of it. I do think Palace will get on the score sheet. I'm gonna say Crystal Palace 2. Sorry, Chelsea 2, Crystal Palace 1. All right. Second last game, Newcastle versus Tottenham. Yeah, sure. One of the games I dread of the season, Newcastle away. Aggregate score from the past 2 seasons is 10-1 in favour of Newcastle. 6-1 2 seasons ago, 4-0 last season. Yeah, look, I think Newcastle had an underwhelming draw with Bournemouth, where I think many people just expected them to win. They beat Southampton, which people did predict, but people did think they would beat them by a bit more. Although the scoreline was still pretty good, considering they played more than half of that game with only 14 men. After a rather controversial, it must be said, red card. I just don't think Spurs can get all 3 points here. I think Newcastle, after that underwhelming draw, are going to want to, show that they're still in the conversation for top 6, top 7 teams, easy. So I think they're going to try and make their home a bit of a fortress, and I think I think the best Spurs could do. I wanted to put down a Spurs loss. Something like a 3-1, 3-0, 2-0. But you know what? I think just for the vibes, and because it's something I would maybe like to see, if it's possible. I'm going to say Newcastle. I'm going to actually go for a draw here with some goals. I'm going to say Newcastle 2, Tottenham 2. I think Isak is probably going to bag his first goal of the season. Solanke, I don't think he'll be playing for this game yet again. I think we're going to have Richarlison and Son there up as the strikers. I think one of the two of them will probably get on the score sheet, and then maybe a Maddison or Johnson or a Saar or something like that will be another one on the score sheet. But I'm going to say it's going to be. I think we'd have done very well to get a draw. So I think I'm just for the vibes, I'm going to go for Newcastle 2, Tottenham 2. All right, then last game, Manchester United versus Liverpool, the final game of the Premier League game week 3. This is a Big Six game, Big Six clash. Man United are the home team, Liverpool are away. Look, Man United had an underwhelming loss to Brighton, but they had a similarly, not utterly convincing, but solid victory over Fulham. So they've got 3 points out of a possible 6. I think they're going to come out of the gates for this clash against Liverpool. Ten Hag's got in his 3rd season, Slot's only in his 3rd game. But I think Liverpool's quality just still kind of shines through. I don't think they're going to smash Man United like some of the Klopp teams did. But I think they're still going to get a victory. But I think United will make a game out of it. But unfortunately for them, I think it's going to be another narrow defeat to them. Another 2-1. I'm going to go Manchester United 1, Liverpool 2. Højlund's still injured. Is he going to use Fernandes, or is he going to try and use Xerxes a bit more? After that blunder Xerxes made, had a very good first game, not a good second game. So it's up in the air for him. Let's see. Højlund's still out till the middle of September. But I think, unfortunately, another narrow loss for Man United. I'm going to go Man United 1, Liverpool 2. All right, and those are my Premier League Game Week 3 predictions. Hopefully I do a bit better this week than what I did the previous 2 weeks. But we shall see. Looking forward to the games this weekend. And as always, come on you Spurs.